Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting in a Fan. It is my pleasure to present to you the July 2024 entry of Llewellyn's 2024 Tarot Calendar. We have the Three of Cups from the Good Fortune Tarot. We have the symbol, we have a spread, so I will be casting the cards. It is called the Alchemy of Friendship Spread, and we have a blessing, and it's a beautiful blessing. The Good Fortune Tarot, by the way, was written by the Barbara Moore, who wrote the insight spreads and tips for this calendar, and illustrated by Jessica Rue. Her name is, Ms. Rue, Jessica's last name is the same as that glorious concoction of milk and flour and butter that is a staple in cooking in New Orleans. Anyway, so in the Barbara Moore's words, the perfect card for summer, the Three of Cups promises casual gatherings with those you are most comfortable with. The mutual affection you share makes any activity fun. The deep connection you share transforms you. I love that. I have been feeling the energy and the vibration of transformation for roughly 2 months now, quite frankly. Anyway, the symbol that is the focus is the dragonfly, and it just so happens there are 3 dragonflies on this card, 1 to correspond to each of these beautiful women. Dragonflies symbolize personal transformation. These flying creatures that love water feel magical, as if ushering us into a sacred space where it is safe to be ourselves. In the First Nation or Native American cosmology, the dragonfly represents illusion. And I remember years ago, I was like, why would First Nation peoples revere this insect to represent illusion? And I was like, I didn't understand. And then one day I had this spontaneous meditation with Dragonfly, and what Dragonfly said to me was, I am the path away from illusion into illumination. And I was like, ooh, wow. So yeah, I've remembered that all these years later, and it just blows my mind. So Dragonfly also represents taking the path from illusion, or rather away from illusion to illumination. Now, I'm actually going to save the blessing for last, but let me read to you the Alchemy of Friendship Spread. We love our friends for who they are, the laughs shared, and the support given. We may not always be aware of how much friendships shaped who we've become. If we're lucky, our friendships bring out the best in us. This spread helps us explore this powerful magic. Card number 1 is you. Card number 2 is what you give your friend. Card number 3 is what you receive from your friend. And card number 4, how this exchange transforms you. So this time I am using a deck published by US Game Systems. I mean, it's surprising to me, but it's actually one that I've talked about recently. It is called the Crystal Visions Tarot by Jennifer Galasso. And it is one of the most beautiful tarot decks I have ever used, ever seen, ever owned. And I must say, you know, when a client told me about this deck, I began following Ms. Galasso on Facebook. And this was when I used Facebook, by the way. I haven't used Facebook since Monday, November 21st, 2016, FYI. But I remember looking at the Moon card. And this Moon card was so glorious to me that I honestly believed it was originally the High Priestess card. And ever since then, it is one of maybe 2 or 3 tarot decks that I own where the Moon card of that deck is equivalent to me of the High Priestess card energy, and is more of my tarot totem in that particular tarot deck than the High Priestess card. It's wild, because for me, for as long as I've been using tarot, the High Priestess is my tarot totem. But in the case of this tarot deck and one or two others, it's the Moon card that is more my tarot total than the High Priestess card. So I'm going to shuffle the deck. I'm going to cast the cards. I will include the description so that for those of you who want to play along at home, you can do that. And it's funny because remember, alchemy is a modern version of the ancient Egyptian word alchemet. Alchemet means of the black earth or of the black sand. In fact, in ancient Egypt, the name for ancient Egypt was Alchemet. Alchemet. So the fact that today we have a word called alchemy is fascinating to me on so many levels. So I am casting the cards for the collective. Most of you, actually I don't know most of you, some of you know that I don't do this that often. In fact, it seems like I do it less often, which I'm okay with. Some of you may be like, why doesn't he cast the cards more? But, you know, sometimes it just happens that way. And I don't mean to be flippant, I really don't. But, you know, it's not like you need me to, like, pull cards for you on a regular basis. You don't. You know, there are plenty of other people that do TikTok videos and Instagram lives and different posts on YouTube where they cast the cards and people can say, I have a question, I want a reading. You have a bazillion people for that. You don't need me for that at all. Not for a second. Like, seriously, you don't need me for that. But every once in a while, it is my honor and pleasure to cast the cards when a spread comes up in these calendars, and I'm more than happy to do it. Goddess bless, Sekhmet. We need to clear your nose. You're not going to like how that happens, but you know. You know. So, and of course, I cannot help but think of one of my dearest friends, one of my closest friends, the Michelle Swan Graham. Her YouTube channel is Swan of Dreamers. If you haven't already done so, give her a follow. And definitely subscribe to her email newsletter so that you can be invited to participate in Cosmic Chat, which is always the last Saturday of the month. I'm actually joining this month. The last 2 months I was unable to join, but this time I'm going to be there. I mean, it's virtual, but you know what I mean. So, card number 1 is the collective, and in my case it's me. It's at the top of the diamond. Card number 2 represents what I give Michelle, my friend Michelle, and what you in YouTube land give your friend. Card number 3, directly across, is what you receive from your friend. And card number 4, at the bottom of the diamond, how this exchange transforms you. And the final message card, which is also known as the hidden message card, which is also known as the card to understand or put a greater level of understanding in the entire reading. So card number 1 represents you in YouTube land and represents yours truly. And it is the Magician. How funny. I love this card for today because today is Wednesday, June 12th, 2024. And in magical traditions, Wednesday is the day of Mercury. Mercury is the planet that corresponds astrologically with the Magician card of the Tarot. So beyond appropriate. So I am the Magician. I am the magic maker. I am the magic maker. I'll just stick with that. And for you in YouTube land, this is representing you as well. You are the magic maker. You are the magician. You are the magical practitioner. Card number 2, what I give Michelle and what you in YouTube land give your friends. And that is 10 of Swords. You give them the strength and the freedom to be messy. You give them the courage and you give them the inspiration. It is a swords card, not the most pleasant of swords card, but it's still a swords card nevertheless. So I give Michelle the freedom to be messy, the freedom to be completely unkempt, the freedom to be completely letting it all hang out. And that is what you in YouTube land do for the friends that you have in mind when you see this video, or when you cast the cards for yourself. Card number 3, what you receive from your friend, what you in YouTube land receive from the friends you had in mind when you begin watching this video or when you cast the cards for yourself. And of course, what I receive from Michelle, and that is Ace of Swords, inspiration, triumph, personal victory, success, fulfillment. And it's interesting to note that it is the Ace of Swords because, again, from a numerological perspective, 1 plus 0, 10, 1 plus 0 equals 1. Aces have a numerical value of 1. So through this partnership, I become stronger. I receive strength, which makes perfect sense because it just so happens that Michelle's sun sign is Aquarius. The polar opposite of Aquarius is Leo. The strength card in tarot corresponds to the sun sign Leo. So that is what we receive. Strength, personal victory, inspiration. A high point. Card number 4, how this exchange transforms me via Michelle and my friendship with her. How this exchange transforms you in YouTube land and the friends that you have in mind when you began watching this video or when you began casting the cards for yourself using this spread. Page of Swords, it gives us the courage and the strength and the need and the desire to re-examine and reevaluate. It's interesting because if memory serves, right now Mercury is not retrograding. In my experience using tarot professionally, when the Page of Swords shows up, it's usually showing up during the pre-Mercury retrograde storm, during a full-on Mercury retrograde transit, or after Mercury turns direct, which is usually called the post-Mercury retrograde storm. So through my exchange with Michelle, I am transformed in the sense that I receive insight, I receive greater perspective, I have the courage and the remembrance, if you will, to re-examine, to reevaluate, to renew, to review. And for you in YouTube land, it gives you the strength and this reminder to re-examine and reevaluate, to renew, to review. And the final message card is the Knight of Pentacles. So one of the bonuses that you in YouTube land receive from your friends, and I receive from Michelle, and I also give to Michelle, is a sense of comfort, physical safety. And I do not mind telling you that I love, love, love giving Michelle gifts. I give her gifts virtually every time she and I get together. And it is interesting to note that the Knight of Pentacles corresponds to Virgo energy. Virgo energy is very healing because in Western astrology, Virgo is traditionally the sign of healing, and surprise, surprise, it is ruled by Mercury. So there's definitely this healing energy that I receive from Michelle, that Michelle receives from me, and it's definitely present in all of our exchanges, whether it's in person, whether it's on the phone, whether it's through text messages, through Instagram posts, emails, etc., etc., etc. And now for the blessing. We love tarot because a picture is worth 1,000 words. That seems particularly true with this card. To leap, to be vulnerable, to trust, to share. It's a priceless feeling. May joy fill your heart until it overflows. May being with friends feel like a summer's day, even in the depths of winter. I am most thankful to the Barbara Moore for writing the insight, spreads, and tips. I am especially most thankful to Llewellyn Publications for yet again publishing another edition of this tarot calendar. I say it all the time, it is the only tarot-themed annual that Llewellyn Publication publishes. It's the only tarot-themed annual that they currently publish. They don't publish any others. I have seen other tarot calendars that cost more than this, that don't provide and give as much as this. This is the only tarot calendar I have seen that is worth every penny of its price. I have seen others that all they offer is art, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with art. There's nothing wrong with paying for art. But it lacks substance for me, because with this, I receive so much more than just beautiful art. And of course, I also want to thank the Barbara Moore for writing the book, and Jessica Rue for illustrating the Good Fortune Tarot. And of course, if you haven't already done so, please buy this calendar. Please give this calendar. Please keep giving Llewellyn Publications the incentive to continue publishing this tarot calendar. And if memory serves, next month will be the publication of the Llewellyn's 2025 tarot calendar. I haven't bought mine yet, but I'm actually looking forward to doing so. I tend to buy mine late, not intentionally, it just happens to show up that way. And although one year I did pre-order it, and I happily pre-ordered it, because I'm like, when I came back from my vacation, there it was, just waiting for me. I loved it. And of course, I want to thank the Jennifer Galasso for creating this beautiful tarot deck, and for US Games Systems Incorporated for publishing it. To all of you in YouTube land, thank you for all the likes, all the comments, all the shares, and all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And of course, an extra big and beautiful thank you to those of you who have already scheduled your sessions. I wish all of you a beautiful night, a wonderful week, an amazing weekend, and as always, stay in tune with your intuition. Stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, and stay tuned for the next video.